And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Pixel Tactics 5. Woo! What does that mean? Well, it means it's the 5th expansion / standalone game in the Pixel Tactics universe. So don't watch this review if you want to learn how to play this game. For that, go watch my original Pixel Tactics review, and that will tell you how Pixel Tactics is played. In this review, I'm assuming you already know how to play. It's just to show you the new cards and the new stuff. Here it is. In this set, you have traps. These were introduced in the 4th wave, I believe, but there's some of them in here, not as many as there was in 4. This one's more about operations, but traps are things you have 3 slots for traps behind your vanguard, and you can put these face down, and then you can reveal them as a free action. So like this one here does 5. Someone attacks you, you flip it, boom, they take 5 damage. Here, when they recruit a hero, you can discard that hero and put this card in that slot instead, which, as you can see, is a pretty lame 0-2 guy. Here, when a trap is activated, cancel it, discard it. You can cancel someone else's trap. Here, when a rival draws a card, you can name that card, name a card and reveal the card. And if it's right, you do 8 damage to the leader. Very random and stuff, but I like it because they might be pretty excited about a specific card. The game also comes with operations. Operations have time units put onto them. They last for 3 turns, these time units, and then they're complete. Sometimes they give you an ability until they're complete, or this one, when it is complete, you're going to do 4 damage to each rival hero. That's an awesome operation. Here, all your heroes have a spell where they can do 3 damage to a rival hero and 1 damage to that hero. Here, when this operation completes, you're going to draw up to 5 cards. Here, when your rival turn begins, they have to discard a card or take 1 damage to their leader. This gives all your heroes +2 attack strength and -2 life, which I don't care about the life, I can attack more. This one, placing traps and playing operations are free actions while this one's in play. And this one here, when this operation ends, put this hero into play in any empty slot in your unit. Well, that's pretty cool. And it becomes a giant. This is probably my favorite of the operations. This giant is coming. Now, he's slow, so his attacking and stuff is 2 actions it takes to do that, but he's still pretty powerful, 7-12. I like him very much, and he's also immune to defeat effects. You can't just kill him. Other people who show up in this set here, we have the Avatar, who can, as a spell, just do 4 damage to an enemy hero, which is something I like a lot. This placeholder here, anyone who attacks him, they become a copy of that person when they're in the front. Here we see this recursor here. It says when you attack with this hero, it gains +1 attack. There are different status effects. So, for example, here's a +1 attack. There's also ones that say no abilities. They can be placed on people. So when he attacks with them, this guy gets +1 attack, which could be pretty handy as time goes by. The Shamaness here doubles the amount of damage on a hero, which can be enough to kill somebody, especially when they're suddenly being protected. I like her a lot. This person takes no damage from ranged attacks, and also you can return a hero in your unit to your hand, which lets you place him somewhere new. Here, every time they attack, you remove a +1 attack from it. So if they have one on it, you would remove 1 from it. But if you can have a spell here that give them +1 attack ×3 and then do 1 damage to this person. So there's some interesting things here. Here the virus can just kill someone. A long spell, defeat a hero. But it's a long spell, so it takes 2 actions. But still, I would certainly try to do that. Here, this guy, the God Hacker, can move status effects around from one person to another. And here's one I like a lot just because they do damage to the person based on how many cards they have in their hand, or make them discard a card at random from their hand. So those are some of the characters in this set. Let's take a look now at my top 10 favorite leaders. Number 10, this guy here, when you recruit a hero that you have not recruited in the past, you take 4 damage. Well, that sounds like a big negative. However, as an action, you can discard a card to put a corpse in your unit in your hand. So you put out a great character. Every time that character is killed, you can put him back in your hand and play him again. And they just keep coming out and out and out again. I don't know if that's enough to make up for the negative thing for this character, but it's really cool and fun. This guy here is all about the attacking. Whenever you recruit heroes, you put a fervor marker on that hero, and now they're going to do +2 attack, but they're -2 life, but they can go right away. So Fervor, I guess in this one, that'd be Fury. That's what it is in a lot of their games. Here's one person in the game with a number, Vasel of 3. At the end of each of her turns, you can put a +1 attack on each of your heroes and leaders in that wave. Whenever a hero leader in your unit attacks, you remove an attack from it. So basically, you're giving everyone +1 attack briefly. However, she's not very powerful, which is why she's not higher in my top 10. This one here, you can discard a card to add or remove a time marker operations. So if you're someone like me who likes operations, this is the person who can do operations, and they can search for an operation and put 5 time markers on it, which is really cool, especially for the operations that give you positive effects. Gideon here, every time a rival hero attacks or casts a spell, that you do 2 damage to it. Yeah, sure, you can attack me, but you're going to take 2 damage. Sure, you can cast that spell, take 2 damage. Your opponent won't like them. This person's whose name is ridiculously long. Let's see if I can pronounce that. Iriol Andraya Morella. That was probably pretty bad. But she can discard a card to do 4 damage to any hero, or discard a card to do 2 damage to each other hero. The long action. It's that long action that puts her on my list. Here's another person with a number. Absika 1. There must be some theme to this one where all these people have numbers, because there's a 3, a 4, and a 7, etc. But she can put a virus marker on a corpse in your unit, and then all those people become virus. This is the virus on the other side. So basically, she's the army of zombies. Peril, you can play a hero without a trap ability as a trap, which basically does damage to an opponent, to the hero, equal to the attack strength on that. That's really useful. Turns every person you have into a trap, and those traps will do damage. You can do some pretty negative, nasty damage. But better than that is Nemet 4. This leader has +1 attack strength for each card in your hand. I love that. Maximum of 7, but still. Fill your hand up with cards, and they're really powerful. And then each player in the game draws 2 cards and discards 1 card as an action, so you can easily fill up your hand. Sure, you're giving your opponent cards, but who cares? And then my favorite is 7. 7 here. You can play any hero without an operation ability face down as an operation that says heroes in your unit become copies of this card. You may only have 1 operation of this kind active at any time. That is amazing. You can basically have an operation where it turns all your heroes into the same thing. Now that could be really bad, I suppose, or maybe not so useful. Having a diverse army is the whole point of playing Pixel Tactics, but having an army of 1 is, well, I guess that's the U.S. Army actually, but having an army of all the same people is a pretty cool idea, so that makes her my favorite leader. Now, as I said in my Pixel Tactics 4 review, 4 and 5 sync together pretty well. While 4 was all about traps with a few operations, this one has a few traps and more operations. I tend to like operations better than traps, so if I could only get 1, I would probably get this one. I do like a lot of the leaders in this set too. They're very fun to play with. They're both fun. The status effects is another new feature of this set. Those are okay. There's more tokens all over the place. I like them well enough, but I could have lived without them. Having stuff on the board is always fiddly. You're already putting damage counters and things out on the table. So that's okay, though. This is still a very solid set. I wouldn't make it the first one that I would get, but I'll tell you it's probably my favorite of all of them because, again, I'm a big fan of the operations, and some of the leaders here are a lot of fun. But, hey, for those of you who are Pixel Tactics fanatics, you probably already pre-ordered this anyway. But anyway, that's just to show you what's in the game. Lots of fun. Pixel Tactics 5. Dice Tower Judgment. Excellent!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.